Okay, this is a high stress situation, folks. Real high, like blood pressure is just through the roof. Welcome to Countryside Acres. Okay, if you are familiar, we poured this countertop the other day and then we poured epoxy on it and we absolutely hate it. It looks awful. And now we're trying to figure out what to do with it. Dislike it extremely much. It turned out very yellowy, which is our own fault. We're not blaming anyone else. We used the wrong epoxy and it went yellow and it just looks hideous. And so we come into this room and it's like, very nice, looks nice. What happened to this? It looks awful. She says it looks like the bottom of a fish tank that hasn't been cleaned in like a long time. It just looks bad.
Or the 70s or 80s in Canada, you know, the old cottages with the old furniture and the old dishes and the cupboard. It's just like, it's awful. So
we're not happy with it. Our last one did not do this. And now we're trying to figure out what to do.
The wrong epoxy.
So my suggestion is, or this is how I operate, is a ton of research and figuring out how we can best solve the situation so that it goes from bad to better. Anneesa's situation or solution is just to throw something on it and see what happens. And that is super stressful for me because I like to have things planned out and figured out and not just try things. I like to organize everything and have it systematic. The rest of the counters still look lovely because we have not had a chance to mess them up yet. They're still very nice and I like them like that. And I've ordered clear epoxy, the proper stuff now, to do these. So the question would be, do we strip this nastiness off and then pour clear epoxy on it? Or do we let Anneesa try some kind of craziness? Because once it's done to this, I also have to do it to that. So I was trying to explain that a minute ago, like this is bad. Now we almost have to do that bad so that it looks the same. And then she's going to do something else to it. I don't know what that's going to do, but then we'll have to do that to this. And I don't know, maybe you see my point. I don't know if you guys are getting stressed out, but look at that nice door. Beautiful.
All right, there's the baby.
All right, so we're getting there, and our house is coming together. So you're wiping off the dust right now?
Yeah, but it's really yellow.
You think you can wipe the yellow off? Some of that's just wood dust too, though.
I don't know, but it's really yellow.
Oh, that would be cool. See, this side turned out a lot better. This is more white, but there's still yellow in it.
So dark.
Well, it's also because it's yellow. I think if it would have been white, it wouldn't be so dark. Look how dark the yellow or the white got, right? So same as over there. Look how dark that got. So I think that made this a lot darker. It's almost green looking in here. Awful. Pardon? Awful. Terrible. What do you guys think? Terrible. Yeah. So this is still very nice. I'm very happy with how this turned out. I really am. I really am. Somebody asked, what are we going to do when the sink needs to be replaced? I don't know why the sink would have to be replaced unless we punched a hole in it. This sink will last for a long time. It's a stainless steel sink. It should last indefinitely. Rusty? Why would a stainless steel sink? Unless their stainless is different than our stainless, but
I guess we'll find out.
well, I guess we'll find out. Stainless steel sink should last for a long time.
Just stick another one inside.
That probably worked too. Cut the bottom off of this one, drop another one on top. Not a bad idea.
I'm cleaning yellow.
All right. What's the plan?
I don't know. We're still researching.
I watched a video yesterday, and a guy basically just took spray can, and it's special stuff still, but they sprayed it over top. Made some nice patterns in there, and then he covered that up again with epoxy as well. And it looked pretty good. But what if you get your pattern a little wrong, or like it don't quite work out? Some people like living life on the edge and just being, you know, spontaneous with that. I like to plan my construction out. It doesn't help, honestly, it doesn't help that I put everything on YouTube, because then I get a whole whack of critics telling me how I did it wrong or did it right. And so I like to try to make sure everything goes right. And in this case, it didn't. Not at all. So I will be the first to admit that this looks horrible and we don't like it. It's not because it's concrete, it's just the wrong epoxy choice.
everybody, it's me from Countryside Acres. Today we are working on a project that actually never got finished, and now we are working on it. So we're building the addition that never got finished earlier. It will be the room for our wood stove and wood storage. So it's not very big, just big enough to store some wood and stuff. And we got one wall built so far. We got to build that wall over there, and this wall. The door will be going right here somewhere, and then this this tarp thing will be moving eventually so we can get in. And then those are our boiler lines going to the house, and then the roof will be about the same pitch as that roof, probably a little bit steeper, I think, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we got the door here, jack stud, and the door will go in the middle, and now we can frame the rest in, and then put the door in. I mean, put the roof on. Okay, so we gotta finish the top plate there, then we gotta put the header in for the door. And then we gotta put the double top plate on, and then we'll be ready for rafters. Okay, now we're putting up the board for all the rafters will meet. The rafters will go from there to the wall, and then we'll have a 30-centimeter overhang and 20 centimeters on either side. Okay, so these will be our rafters up here, but the reason we're putting the overhang so short is because we'll run into this post, so we have to have it short enough that we give a bit of clearance. Of course, gotta test try the first rafter to make sure the angles and everything meet and the rafter is long enough. Okay, so we tried it. The board that he's touching right now actually needs to go up a little higher, so we'll have to move it up and make a longer rafter and then try it again. Take two. Is that a bit better? Okay, so now that we made our pattern, we mark it with a P, and then we'll trace all the other ones to make them the same as the first one. Now that we got all the rafters cut, we can go ahead and put them all on. Then if you see this board sticking past right there, that's for the 2x4, just like we did up on that roof there. We put a little, that way it looks nicer with a smaller rafter on the edge. And then we'll have to put the fascia on after. and run it up, just sticking past as far as that one we did. Okay, so now that we got all the framework done, we're gonna start on the plywood. We want to start on the roof first to get that so it's all closed in, doesn't snow in there. So we want to get the tie bar and strapping on before night, because if it snows on the plywood, then it'll get all icy, and then we have to scrape all the plywood off, and that's just it's more work than I want. So we can just put if we put the vapor barrier on or tie bar on right away, then we don't have to scrape it off. Plywood on, we're gonna put vapor barrier or tie bar on the roof, and we'll strap it, and then we might do the walls tomorrow. Okay, so we got this far. I'm sorry I forgot to videotape, but I'll show you now. So I got all the OSB on all three sides, and this is where the door is gonna be now that we got this taken away. We just need to finish cutting out here yet, and then we'll pop a door in there. Those are the boiler lines. And then after, probably, I don't know, probably not right away, but we will probably insulate these walls. And then it'll be nice and warm here. We'll put the stove in here, probably in this corner. And we can put the wood over here, stack it all full. And then out here we got tie bar on the roof. I guess they call it ISO span here. We put strapping on. We just gotta cut the strapping off. That's why it looks so funky with it sticking off. We never got around to cutting it off yet. So we gotta do that. Put more tie bar on the outside, and then we'll be ready for siding, I guess. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you like it, write down in the comments, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Don't forget to share it with anybody, and if you have any questions, just write down in the comments and we'll do our best, or email us and we'll do our best to answer them. Alright everybody, catch you on the next one.
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty.